Hi guys, how are you today? Welcome to new part of the C++ course. In this video we want to speak about two very important things in the programming with C++. One of this is arrays, and another thing is vectors. So let's start with arrays and learn what's the array. We can say array is a list of variable. We take it in the one other variable. For example, you have one list about strings and you take it in the one variable. So you have one list. In the list you have three parameters for the array. So its name array. With the list, we say the list is array. So how we can create one array? Here we write a string. First you should write the types, the name of your array, I say ARR, and how many houses do you want, how many index do you want it to have. For example, I want 3 index. It's a start between 0 to 3, and here in the bracket I write the members. For example, I want to write the model of the cars. For example, Ford. Don't forget semicolon 1. Chevy. For example, Kia. And for the last one, we can say, I don't know. Oh, we have 3 elements. We don't want any 4s. When we write 3, it have 0 to 3. For example, 0, 1, 2. It's 0, 4, it's 0, it's 1, and it's 2. You can have it for the integers. For example, I write int arr num with 3 home and equal, for example, 1, 2, 3. 3 number. You can save it. And you can write it like this also. You can create, for example, a string arr1 with 3 home and semicolon. Then you come here and say arr1, the zeros index is equal, for example Kia. It's like this. You can write it in, you can initialize it like this. And here, for example, we initialize this array, but here we can say arr the zeros index is equal, for example, I don't know, Toyota, for example, like this. You can initialize it again. When you initialize it, you can initialize it again. And then we are going to cout it to print it. So we write cout and the name of, you can say the name of, for example, array. But when you run it, you can't get it. Why? You get the RAM index, RAM num of this number of the RAM of this array. You can't get the members of in array. How you can print it? What do you think about it? One of this way is like this. You write array, the 0 index, the first index of it, and then I'm going to run it and I get Toyota, for example. Why? Here we have Ford, but again here we initialize it with Toyota and then we get it. Another way you can print it is arrays. Sorry, it's for printing the arrays, it's loop. You can print it with loop. You write for int arr int I equals 0 to when. What is the condition? It's little r equal little r to 3 and I plus plus. Then you come here and say cout ARR I index, and it's correct. Then we run it and we get it. Toyota, Chevy, and Kia. You can also write 4 space between every members and you get it. It's good. But for example, you don't have also, let's say first you can print it with while. Here out of variable you should create one container int I, for example. Then you write while it's littler to 3 I plus plus. Here I write cout ARR I index. And it's correct. And now we get it again. But if we don't have any size of it and we don't have the size of the array, how we can write it? We can say the size. For example, watch here. Cout size is, we have one method, one function in C++ is size of the ARR, and we get it. But when we print it, it says 72. We have 3 member. Why? It's right the size of this in the RAM. It saved it in RAM. It gets 72 bytes, and you can't say how many member, but you can division it to size of the every strings, and you get the real size of it, the members size. And you can say size of, for example, ARR, the first parameter, and it says now 3, because every strings I think so have every strings gets 24 bytes, and we have 3 and it's get 72, and we can write it like this. So here we write 4 int I equal 0 I littler than size of ARR division to size of ARR, the 0 parameter of it, I plus plus, and every time cout I is cout ARR I, then handle and circle. We print it and we get 0 is Toyota, 1 is Chevy, and 2 is Kia. Then, and it's finished. Now the arrays are finished. And if we don't write it like this, and it's very hard to working with array, and you can't, for example, add anything else. For example, you want to have 4 with 4 index in this array. You can't write it. You should create one array with 4 index. You add this index in this array and your new index, and it's very hard to work with arrays. How we can work really easier and really better, we say something else. It's named vectors, and we use vectors for programming many times with C++. We don't use arrays. And how we can write it? First of all, you should add it to your program. So you should say sharp include vector. Then here you say the name of it. It's a vector. The class type of it, for example, is a string. And it's finished. And the name, it's vec, for example, s, vector string. And for example, if you want to add something to it, you should write it. The name of it is vector string dot push back. We add it, for example, 4, for example. And for printing, it's going to be very, very easier than last. We write it like this. 4, you don't want any like this 4s. Only you want 2 parameter. Here you say the, for example, a string car and the name of vector is vex, and you see out car. It's going to be very, very easier than last. It's very, very easier, and it have more functions of that. But basically, vector is array. The basic of the vector is array, and you have other function for it. For example, you can use it, for example, like this: cout vec the index 0. But semicolon. But you have another thing is this vec dot add and the index. You can write the index like this, and it's better, it's good to use it like this. Or I say to you, pushback is another function of it. Or for clearing the vector, you can doing like this: dot pop back, and it's going to clear. Then you can't see out it because you don't have any index in it. And for the size of this vectors, you can write it like this: cout vec dot size, and it's very, very easy. I say to you, it's very, very better. And for checking is it empty or not, you have another function. It's right empty. And it's right 1, meaning true, and it say yes. Now we want to write one program with us. We get the, for example, 10 scores of the one student, and we write it with sum. And we want to use vector in it. So let's start. No. And the type of it should be int. We write for int 0 I equals 0 condition I equal than 10 I plus plus int score cout score is then seeing it score, then score dot push vecnum dot pushback score, and out of it 20 arguments for the function pop back, sorry, push back. That's correct. And then here we come here, int sum equals 0. Then for example, I write it with size. I want to write it 0. I equal vecnum dot size I plus plus every time plus it. Then here we say sum plus equal vec I, the I parameter, I index of it. And then last you come here and say cout average is sum division to 10 and end L. I say 2. It's very easy. Let's run it. The score is, for example, 19, 10, 12, 13, 15, 20, 18, 20 again, 17, 50, and average is 50. And it's about the vectors and arrays. If you have any question about vectors, arrays, or C++ and about this course, you can ask it at the comment. If you want to help me, please subscribe the channel and like the video. Thank you for watching this video to here, and like always, here's Project, and goodbye.